Hi everyone, I'm John. I'm the main creator of Horse Racing Manager. We thought about making like a tutorial video, since we don't have a tutorial in game, to show alpha testers like how does the game actually work. You know, how do I buy a horse, how do I register a horse, what are different race classes, because the game is quite complex, maybe a bit too complex even, and we're thinking of ways how to make it a bit smoother for players. But yeah, let's get into it. This, by the way, also my first time making any kind of like YouTube video or tutorial video, so bear with me. I'm now, by the way, using alpha version 0.2.7. Still, by the way, working on the pipeline, automatic builds to Steam, so that we can quickly like push updates and not have to manually upload them to Steam. Before we start, is some people had an issue where they didn't start on this page. If you don't start on this page, I would almost like recommend to restart the game. You can go through this yourself. Maybe the one important one before starting to play is options. By the way, we're still working on different like resolutions and stuff. If you don't use HD, so if you use like 440p or something like this, the text might be a bit janky. That I didn't think that would be an issue, but it's an issue on different like resolutions and how we scale it. See the main options of the game, gameplay stuff. For video we also have the full screen, but as said, like we're working on the different resolutions. It's a bit hard because we have a lot of like UI elements they need to scale correctly. We have a different audio. I have now for the demo I just put everything at 0. For the interface you can pick like if you want to show the race tutorial. It's the font size also, but this is under experimentation. But we had some people who worked with the Steam Deck, and for them I think this is a very needed thing basically. But yeah, you can see it breaks like a lot of UI. We also have themes, choose themes, but some of these are like the light one, as you can see, some like they still need work. Like they mainly work, but yeah, they still need work. But some of these are pretty cool. But yeah, let's just pick default one. It's the most polished at the moment. Then you can pick localization. So here you can pick like formats, like how do you want the date to display. Try to put a lot of here different options so that you can make the game kind of like how you want it. Then we have auto toggle. Instead of you having to do stuff like choosing, okay, how am I gonna train my horse, you can put it automatically. And we wanted this because I know some people don't really care about like micromanagement or stuff like this. They just want to play a pretty simple game, and the idea is that then you could turn off some of this that you don't want to do. We basically put everything here what the computer does also, and we're gonna keep adding to this. Yeah, then there's also an SQL editor. We don't have to go into this, but if you know what SQL is, you can also query the database. Like, even if I'm the main developer, I don't know like what status maybe everything is in, like what skills affect what, because there are like different people are working on this game. Basically we have 3 developers, 2 plus me. Then we have Steven who does art, Alex music, and Andy does project management and any kind of like communication. There's also, by the way, a mini game, so you can press them and see how high score you get. But yeah, let's start. You press new when you want to start a new game, and do this when it's your first time starting the game also. You can put like your first name, last name. You can now just generate a random person to get forward, but you can then like choose different types. And basically how this works is the first one is also always worst in most of these, and the last one is the best one. And the better you select here, the more skill points you'll get here for your character. Most of these skills, like skills here, they don't do that much yet. I would say the ones that are important are negotiation. That's maybe for like the manager and your position the most important. The other ones are not that necessary at the moment. Training has, but since you're the manager and not the trainer, it doesn't really like that much affect it. I would say for now like the negotiation is the most important. We're still thinking like what are we gonna do, and we actually simplified this a lot. We had maybe, I don't know, 30 skills, but it was kind of like useless. But yeah, basically we want it where every skill has like a real meaning to the game and how it's gonna work. But this is still something we're working on, but I wouldn't too much put effort into the skills. You can then select how you want to look. You can just press also random appearance. Let's pick this one, the glasses, and then you can see kind of like a preview of your person and how it would look. Then when we go forward, here you can see the game world, and we still need to balance this, see like how big can we go. Kind of your computer, but there's also like some functions may not scale the best. I would kind of recommend for the alpha just to pick the medium one. It doesn't really matter that much. For the balance, I think like we have a bit too many people and a bit too little horses. You can also choose a custom world and test different balances, like what works better. Like for race registering, I think it would work even better if you have like 2,000 to 3,000 horses here, but yeah, we're still testing that. Yeah, let's just select the medium and choose if you want to have fan horse names or not. Basically what this means is that fan who has wanted to have a game horse, and I think we have 300 to maybe 400 of these currently in the game, and you can choose if you want to have those on or not. And then when you press next in this, it's gonna generate. It says pre-generated worlds, but in the alpha we're basically generating 6 months of the world, and then this kind of like depending on then your computer how long this is gonna take. And then let's just put like test table. Then you can choose the starting cash. The first time you play, just put like a lot of money to yourself. You can choose if you want to start with a horse or not. We can put like maybe 2 horses just as a test. These are gonna be traded to your stable for free from another stable. And then when we start the game is gonna start. This is then the first time, or when you get into the game, and we can maybe go through a bit the UI, but also like the main things. So in the main UI, you have here this kind of drop down, and this shows at what stable you're currently at. And this is not really implemented yet, but the idea is that you could manage multiple different stables also. Then we have your cash, and that's how much your actual player has cash. And then we have the stables cash. I think there's actually a bug where it's not, it's showing the wrong name, but we were Lenora, but it should show Lenora also here. You can also use, like on Mac it's Command K, I think it's Control K on Windows. Yeah, you can press this also with the mouse, and you can also then search horses or people or whatever basically. So you can also move to places. So let's say if we go to stable, if you have like an option like this and you press tab, it also picks this, and if you press enter, it moves there. So you can like quite quickly move to places just like this. And you can go to horses. Horses are this, it looks like a magnet now because I was thinking of like a horseshoe, and they have this little icon of what they're actually doing. You can go back also, you can go forward, and if you press down or up, you can also move like between this. And I think this works pretty well. We have tried to make like also different action stuff in it, so you should see the buttons you see here also. So you can do like next day, next event, next event world, and maybe we should go also through these and what they mean, but this is the search bar, and it's kind of quite powerful. I haven't maybe seen it that much in games, and maybe it's more in software side usually. This game settings, it's basically the same what we went through in the start. You can also report a bug here. If you press it, it's gonna open the actual bug reporting portal, or you can also report there if you think of like features that would be nice, like quality of life features. You can also press it here. Then we have the drop down for like how long to sim. Like it's basically what this button does. Now we have next event, but we don't actually have any events. That's why it's showing next day. It's weird because there should actually be a next race, but it might be some kind of bug. But yeah, okay, so it wasn't actually registered. The next event, like it shows your stable's next event. If there's not a next event, it's just gonna show next day. For the player, the most important things. Then we have next event world, and this is gonna show like for the whole world. So you also see that they're popped up these dates. Here you can see like the next race date. Okay, so the tooltip is saying for your horse, but this is not actually correct. Like it's next race date, and the same with the auction. So for the world, since you have selected the world, if you would select next event, it only shows them if your horse actually has an auction or if it's the next race date. Then you can select also just like generically, no matter like if you have an event or there's a world event, just skip through them. So you can just go next day, next week, next month, next year, or next 10 years. Like next 10 years is just basically for testing, but I mean it can be fun to test it out. If you start the sim, you can also stop it, and it's gonna say like how long, especially for these longer ones, it's gonna say like how long it has done, the progress and the time left. And then you can also actually see like it's gonna update this, and you saw the horse turn from 3 to 4 and became a stallion. But yeah, you can stop the simulation whenever. By the way, then if you want to move, like either press or double press, unifying that around the game. When we go to the inbox, you get this welcome email, and then if you have picked we pick 2 horses, so we get 2 trade mails. This happens every trade when you get the transfer for the first horses. So we got these 2 horses. The idea is that you could go to the horses by just clicking like different, if there's ever like a horse name or person name, you could go there, but we're still working to implement it. By the way, in the inbox, you can also press, like if there's this symbol, you can press Y. That means that, actually, since we have the selected, we can't, but now if we press Y, it's accepted. And that's the same for, like, if you get like an offer for a horse, there's gonna be like you can also press W and S to move, and up and down arrows to like quickly just wanna scroll through it. But yeah, you can also, there's Y and then there's N, so like no, so yes and no, that you can quickly. Then here you can see the, like if you go to a horse profile, you can go from here, you can go to home screen. Here you also see your stable with you also like for the indicators, you can press dates here. You can see what day we are currently at. You can also see the day we're currently at here. You can press different days to see if there's like a symbol or indicator. You can press it, and basically what it's gonna happen is it's gonna show then that dates, like what's happening that day. Notifications here, and this is basically where you can see like small tips, but this didn't really help that much players. We're still gonna need some kind of like tutorial. Then we have race, what's the form. The right one also is the latest one always, so in the latest race it was the first one, in the second latest race it was the second one. This has run like 2 past races, third, and so on. You see always if it's a 0 or O, it means that it was over 10, the position. When the next race is the condition of the horse. Condition works in a way where when you race a horse, it loses condition. Don't train it so hard, it gains condition. If you train it very hard, it also loses condition. Then you see the estimated value tied to the actual earnings of the horse. Graded, you can go through this more with an actual example how grading works, and when we actually register the horse for a race. You can say the career earnings, so this is how much it has done from racing. Earnings last 12 months, this is actually from racing also. The distance preference, then this kind of depends on how you set up the localization options, but this would be like, okay, so it's around 2 kilometers or 1 to 2 kilometers, this horse. This is directly tied to stamina, so if we go to the horse, depends on where this stamina is. So the more stamina it has, the more lengthier races it can do. And maybe this also, we can go through, like this, maybe you can see that I'm not a YouTuber, but this a bit all over the place. Knowledge then makes these bars smaller. So the more knowledge you have, the less spread there is of, okay, is this horse 48 to 70% speed, but you don't know exactly. You have the wider the spread is, the more knowledge you have, the closer it is. And we're working on the knowledge still, and where you can actually scout then the horse to get more knowledge, and where you would get also base knowledge just by owning the horse. So obviously like then you would start to know the horse. We can go through quickly like also this. So ability is basically just these, and seeing like, okay, how good are these, and potential is, okay, how good can this horse become. You can see here that ability, like it's not the top potential yet, so it can improve this horse, and you can improve that with training, and we can go there next. Then you have gender works in a way where, like if it's a male horse, from age 0 to 3 it's a colt, and when it turns 4 it becomes a stallion, and then it's a stallion for the rest of its life. If it's a female, it would be a filly instead of a colt, so from 0 to 3 years it would be a filly, and when it turns 4 then it becomes a mare. And when it becomes a mare, this is now how we have it in the game, but when it becomes a mare, then it can also have then offspring, so children, foals, whatever you want to call it. Then we have the breed. The breed doesn't really do that much at the moment, like it's a little bit tied to the DNA. Some breeds get some boost in some skills, but it doesn't really have that much effect. Like it doesn't visually change how the horse looks or anything like that. Then we have coat color, and coat color works in a way we have tried to make it like actually how DNA coat colors actually work, but it's obviously like still work in progress because it's very complex, and graphics are, I would say, like top 20 at least coats are in the game. We got a couple of comments about like all the horses being bay. Most like common ones are in the game. Yeah, so this is buckskin. Okay, so this might be a bug then that it's not, or then we don't have it in the game. But so you can see here, like if we don't, then it's gonna show like as a placeholder the bay. So that's why some people were maybe commenting on that. The estimated value, this is closely tied to career earnings, but it's also tied to the DNA tree. So how well the horse, or how good the horse is, how good the DNA is. Career earnings, well, it's the same as we looked at. And then the grade, yeah, we can go through this more with an actual sample. Then we have intelligence and temperament, and these are the mental skills. When we have in persons like mental training, this is what they're then kind of referring to. This rest of these are kind of like easy to understand, like it's directly the skill. And juveniles, these are horses under 3. You can see these are kind of self-explanatory, but like past results, upcoming races, training. Now training, we don't really have any staff to put now, but I'll show you how to do that. Yeah, and here you can see the family tree. For these horses now, they're kind of, the simulation is so young. When we have sim for like half a year, it's not gonna show any pedigree, and then offspring, if the horse would have any offspring. We have the options, so you can change the name of the horse, and then we have leasing mares and standing stallions, depending on if it's a mare or stallion. What leasing mares means is that you put a price, so 8,000, and you can also auto update the fee, and this fee, then it would, like if the suggested fee changes, it would update it. And this basically means that horse, it's kind of like tied to earnings, so the more her earnings it has, the higher the fee is. So if you would then raise this and it would win something big, it would automatically update this. Leasing mares is, you can do it, but it's just be aware that when the horse becomes pregnant, you can't then raise the horse. Be wary of that. For stallions, when you stand a stallion, it's basically the same, but then the computer can breed with your stallion instead of your mare. Stallions obviously can become pregnant, even if we had a bug like that. That means that for stallions, it's not that big of a deal because you can still raise the horse, but it's basically where you get extra income when the computer then breeds with your horse. Obviously, the more earnings you have for a horse, the more interest there will be, and the higher fee you can also pick. So like if you have maybe the best horse in the game, the fee is probably gonna be something like 300 to maybe even $500,000. They can become really, really high. And you get a mail when the computer uses your services as the home view, the first one. But then in training you can also quickly see all your horses training, what food, what care, what's the stable head, what's the preferred jockey, what's the upcoming dates. Then there's the trade page, and this kind of depends on like if you actually own the horse, or we can go to a horse also that you don't own. But here you can trade the actual horse. So if you own the horse, you can put it on the market, and then it would be publicly listed. And then the computer is gonna start offering on the horse for you, and you can kind of see like the estimated value also. And if there's offers, you're able to see them also here. If you go to a horse that we don't own, so let's pick the Pande Yuka. Here's if we go to the trade page, you can see that it looks kind of similar but a bit different in where you can actually make an offer. If we want to buy this, let's try to buy it. It's actually not for sale, so I don't think we have 10 million, so let's just put like 2 million, like go crazy. Yeah, and if I click away, I can see then here, because with this it's kind of hard to see like the actual amount. It's you can press tab also to get away from this, and then it updates the actual value. So let's see if I press, and now the game crashed. Game again, where we were. Okay, so this is how it would look for, but yeah, this is how would you make an offer. This is one way to buy a horse, by making an offer here. The other way you can buy a horse, and that's through the auction. There's also yellow pages. Here you can see if they have listed any horses for sale. You can also search for specific horses that you're interested in, and then also show the trade history also for the whole market. But if we go to the auction pages, here you can see like different auctions. Look through like the auctions and see where there's actually participants. We did balance this where there should be kind of more spread out. They're still a bit stacked, so you can see, okay, for this auction there's 49 participants. So then either you could do like next event world, where it's gonna show next auction once the auction is, or then you could choose participate in auction, and then it's actually gonna show up also for your event, because you have selected, okay, this is an important event that I want to go to. And yeah, when you press the next auction, it's just gonna sim there if you don't have any other events. And yeah, then you can see basic stats of actual auction. So this was the one with the, I think, 49 horses. And if you press a horse here, you can also see like this needs some work, but you can see kind of like stats also here. You can also actually go, if you double click, go to the horse and then go back. As you can see kind of the base info. You can see the owner, if it has pedigree tree, dam, sire, breeder. The dam basically means the mother and the sire means the dad. Then select what horses do you actually want to see the auction for. So let's buy Pyomai. This is, by the way, not, I think in the latest build, this is a new thing where you can also put like an auto bid, and then you don't even have to participate. You can just put like the max amount, but you can also participate and see like the computer bids for you. But yeah, for now, like let's just buy it quickly. Okay, so we went to Pyomai. You can see your cash, current price, leading bid. Let's raise it by, I don't know, a lot, just to get this over with. But you raise by this. You can also buy out the horse. It's getting pretty close, so I think we actually want to do the well, let's see, it's going once, going twice, and then sold, I think. Yeah, so now we got Pyomai. If we would have pressed buyout, by the way, we would immediately have bought the horse for the amount over 500,000, but we got it a bit cheaper now when we didn't do that. And then you can see Pyomai is in our stable. So now we own this horse. Logical steps would probably be like, how do I then register it for racing? And there's two ways. So one is if you go to the horse profile, you can just press the races, and then you can see like, okay, what's the available races. These should be actually in your build already, but the show preferred like this kind of quick filter to filter to the distance that your horse actually runs. And then from here you can even press like auto register. But we could go through soon also a bit like how does the grading work. There's different race types. We could also, let me show the other way you can register. So the other is go to races, registration, and then select the horse, and then it's basically the same view. But here you can change the view a bit also. Let's go a bit through the different types, and I mean, this is not going to be like some of these are also made up, like endurance, I think, sprint. It depends on the country also a bit if they have these, but they're mostly made up. The most important ones are if a horse has never won a race, it can join a maiden race type. Once it wins a race, it can't join those, so it's only for horses who have never won. But after that, it's basically what your goal should be is to kind of grade the horse. So let me actually sim the game forward maybe a year, so then this becomes a bit more maybe easy to understand. We can look at like a grade 1 horse. How grading works, you can think of it like levels. The worst one is not graded, so it has never won a graded race. Then comes grade 3. So those are grade 3 races, then comes grade 2 and grade 1. And when a horse wins, like if you have a non-graded horse, if you wanted to grade to grade 3, you have to win a grade 3 race. So you have to register the horse for a grade 3 race, and you can register it, but you can't, like a non-graded horse, you can't register it to grade 1 race like immediately. So if we actually go and look, like this is a grade 1 horse, we can look at its past results. So it becomes maybe a bit clearer. So first it went to a grade 3 race because it was a non-graded horse in this month. You can see it from here where it kind of how it has upgraded. But it was a non-graded horse. It came second and it went to this graded race. I don't want to double click this now because I had it crash before, but basically it would say that it's a grade 3 race. But yeah, it didn't win, so it didn't grade. Okay, so then we have the next race, and this is also a grade 3 race. We're probably gonna, actually, when I think about it now, we should show like here, instead of grade, like what grade race is it. So that's something I'm gonna fix probably after this. But this was a grade 3 race because the horse won and it got the grade 3. So after this, the horse would have been a grade 3 horse. Then next one, they registered the horse for a grade 2 race, and we can see this because it got position 1, it got graded 2. So now it's a graded 2 race, horse, sorry. And then after this, the horse, this was probably like a grade 1 race, but it didn't win it, so it finished in position 2, and that meant then that it didn't grade. So the grade was still a grade 2 horse. Okay, they registered it for a grade 1 race again. Now it actually won the race, and now you can see that it turned to a grade 1 horse. So now you can see that the grade is 1 for the horse, and this actually means that this horse can register for any grade 1 race also in the future. Now you might ask, like, why do you want to do this? And the simple reason is, like, the grading tells like basically how good the horse is, and this means that the prize money for is also better. Like for grade 1 races, the prize money is way better than say ungraded races. And you can also then take part in, we don't have, if we, I don't think we can take part in this, but if we look at some horse that has a lot of cash earnings, okay, then we can see, this is a bit like messy now because the championships are not directly tied to grading. They will be in the future, I think, where they will be like grade 1. Championships are more of like, it's not really how real life works, so I think we will change this a bit. The like main problem also with grading is that there's different systems, and there's like international grading and local grading, so it becomes even more complex, but we're not there yet, but it's gonna become that. For now, this is how it works. Then there's also other races. There's like open. I don't think this is any kind of like grade requirements. Endurance, so these are longer races. There's sprints, there's shorter races, there's claiming. Claiming doesn't work like in real life. In claiming, how it works, I believe, is that, and this kind of depends on the country also, but where if the horse wins, then it's up for auction after the race, but this doesn't work like that now. It's just a kind of an allowance race in a way. And there's some other race types, but like senior, I think there's juvenile. We don't, the ages of the horses are now pretty old actually. You would generally like start racing a horse in very like juvenile races when it's maybe 3 to 4, I would say, is the peak age of racing, and then after that it goes downhill, maybe 5, maybe 6 years generally, but then it's more of actually breeding the horse and making the next generation. You can also do betting. Let's see, so betting works where, say this one, you can go into the race and then you can select, like this has some participants, so let's select it. Then you can select from these horses. This doesn't really make that much sense, and there's so little participants now, and we're working on a fix for this. But yeah, then you can like select multiple horses to your selector. You can select also the account from where it is taking the or betting, and then you have different bet types. I won't go through this now, but basically win means that like if you have one horse and place win, it has to win, and then you get, in this case you would get around 4 times back your money. Place means that it's top 2, I believe, and show is top 3. And across the board means that you bet basically each of these. And if you have 2 horses, then you can also do like exacta. So that means that this would finish first, this would finish second, and exacta box means that the placement doesn't really matter. So this can finish first and this can finish second, but they still have to become like 1 and 2. And then we even have trifecta, the same. So trifecta means that it's the actual order needs to be correct. Trifecta box means that it doesn't matter, but these horses need to be in the top 3. Yeah, and I don't remember, do we even have even more of these if you would have more horses, but I don't. These are the main things maybe. Then you can do like bet amounts. You can also split bet amount. I don't actually remember now what. Oh yeah, split. So like if you have a box, like is it across, like split for the box or is it for each? So then it makes like a lot of bets. But yeah, most like if you know about betting, this is not new for you. But yeah, try it around. And then when you actually submit, then the bets are submitted. Test it around. I'm not the best at betting myself, but how I understand parlay betting is that you can do like multiple races and then they all combine to that. Like you can get a bigger multiplier, but it's obviously like harder because you have to guess like multiple races for the, say, winner of multiple races. Okay, but that's betting. Just let me actually just auto hire some staff. You can also hire where you select the staff. You can see your staff, current staff here, and then in the overview you can also see like an overview of your staff. But you can see here also the current ones and what's the kind of like recommendation. And this is all based on your horse count. It's gonna count it from there. But yeah, let's auto hire the missing ones. We can see, okay, we hired 8 staff members. If we go now to staff, it's gonna look a bit better. And then you can see like the different staff that you have, their role, their skill level, salary, max bonus. This max bonus, it doesn't really do anything at the moment. Sign-on bonus if they got any healthcare benefit, breach of contract, contract type, and start date, and if they have an end date. And then if you go look at them, you can kind of see that they're working for you. I believe this table is a bit, no, it's actually not bugged, but yeah. For the now, basically what we have is these two. These are something that we're still working on. You can see then the person kind of view more details. You can also see like if you go to person details, like the like stable page where you see more of like the stable. This is now our test table. What's our top horse? It's the value of the stable. Cash amount, description. You can see horses, past results, upcoming trades that we have done, staff. We have facilities that we have, racetracks. This is not really, doesn't really matter now. And then we can change the name of this. Here you can do also prefix for full naming options. So prefix would mean that it has something before it. Let's say we would have, before every horse that is born, we would want to have SMRG and then the horse name. We could have that automatic or suffix, so after the horse name. So maybe the test after each horse name. So it would be maybe Pandejuka test or something like this. We can also transfer money to the stable and to the player. But yeah, let's go to breeding. And yeah, this is also a screen like if you don't have the facility, it's gonna say to you, okay, you need this facility, so breeding facility. You can press down here, and where it goes is facilities. You can also just press this and it would go to facilities. And from here, you basically have all the facilities you can buy, but it was now say breeding facility, so we can just press this and then construct. This is a bit buggy still, as you can see with some of these, where it's kind of like it doesn't look that good. But yeah, we're working on this page still. In the breeding facility, then if we go there, you can see you can kind of like select your horses, and they're gonna have like different stats. But basically, it means like the higher. So when you press a horse, you can then see, okay, what are the options to breed. So if you select the mare, it's going to show the stallions. If you should pick the stallions, it's going to show the mares that you can breed with. And then it's also going to show the breeding fee. Generally, like the more a horse has career earnings, the more expensive it's gonna be. Yeah, maybe, okay, I can quickly show. So I means like average earning index, and this is for the offspring, so it's showing now for everyone 0 because they don't have any offspring. Kind of similar to pedigree earnings, but this shows kind of like average from all horses. How, like, I would almost like Google average earnings index, and you can read about it more if you want. But pedigree earnings, this is like the earnings total for their pedigree. Grade wins, like this is how many grades they have won, and then the pedigree grade wins. So as we were talking about, like grade 3, so they have 1 win, grade 2 1 win, and grade 1 1 win. This doesn't have any grade 1 wins, so that's why it's like this. And the same is then shown for pedigree. Breeding fee is what it's gonna cost. So then when you press on this horse, it's gonna, you can then see like, okay, then we have barometer respectful, so that's our horse, and then relaxed Jesper, so that was the horse we clicked. Yeah, then you can here pick the name. Yeah, that's a bug actually, it wouldn't be, but we can do it now anyway. So we can unlock the DNA, and what this does then, it shows kind of like a preview. Okay, this would be the DNA of the horse. It costs money, so you don't have to do it, but pretty useful to kind of see, because not every horse is a good match. So this kind of like helps you auto unlock. So now if we would click on this, it would automatically pick it, but also be aware that it's charging you 10 grand each time. But okay, so I can try to make a foal, and it was successful. And now the horse is removed here because the horse is, and this is actually a bug, but now you can see that horse is actually pregnant. And from here you can then see, okay, so when it's gonna come. So it's gonna come in about a year. Then if we can seem like quickly a year, so you can kind of see what happens. But after we have bred a horse, then be born, and when it's born you can also then still change the name, because it's not you know, you don't know the gender before, so maybe you had a gender name, and then this way you can also change it if you want. Okay, so now it has simmed, and you can see we have a birth. Yeah, here you can see now the horse is born. It's age 0. It was a Quora because we mixed I believe a true bred and a quarter horse and a Arabic horse, and yeah, it actually has a pretty nice value. So I think this was actually a pretty successful breeding. But as you can see, we can change the name, and we can also accept it. And let's show then the medical area. For this you also need the medical bay, so let's buy that facility. Yeah, this is kind of buggy now, I don't actually know why. Then you can see the medical area, and how this works is that you can see your medical staff, see the healing rate, if you have any, you know, facility bonus. I think this is actually a bit broken now. You can also see the quarantine spaces, quarantined horses, injured horses, and sick horses. Go to healing location. We don't have now any sick horses, but here you can kind of like with a slider allocate healing points. It's a pretty simple system. Like basically how it works is that it has like healing points, like any sickness. Let's say it needs 100 points, and then if your healing rate is 1, it would cure in like 100 days. The more sick or injured horses you have, the more it's gonna kind of divide on the staff. But yeah, this is a bit buggy still, so we're working on it. Facilities, you can pick different facilities, but yeah, this visually there's something wrong with this now. It's also showing kind of like stats what it does, so like buff to your game, so like breeding success plus 5% and stuff like this. Some of these also, the genetic testing lab, for example, it makes the DNA testing free, so you don't have to pay like 10 grand each time. Finance, and you can also upgrade this. Okay, so now here's the finance office. Yeah, so as you know, there's gonna be bugs like this, but now we have the finance office, and here you can see like the balance change, like how did your balance change. You can also see the cost. You can change like how many days back do you want to go, and you can see the income. You can also see the cost. We don't have any income now, but like it would basically be the same view as this, where you can see, you know, who you paid salaries for, you know, did I buy facilities cost money each month, food care costs depending on how high quality food you pick. Then we have assets and liabilities, and then also rating. I don't actually now, this was actually one thing I had to look in, but I don't remember now what this exactly showed. I think it's your historic rating, but yeah, I have to look into that. And then total liabilities. So let's see, there was a bug where it crashed the game, but you can like take a loans. So let's say we take 100,000 loan, yeah, and then we take the loan for 5 years with a rate of percent, and yeah, the rate is directly tied to your rating. If you have like a lot of loans and your rating is bad, or like it's actually kind of calculating how it works in real life, like it takes into account like your cash flows, so how much you're paying in salaries, how much like buffer do you have, and stuff like this. Like it actually goes like how a real corporation is rated, so like from A to A or AAA to D. You can look up like in Google like corporate ratings, and then you can see like how they work. And then you can also prematurely pay back a loan, but can also just gonna pay it like automatically. But obviously that way you don't have to pay interest on it. Then we have standings. From here you can see like all the standings in the game. Here you can also see like what's the best horse. You can filter this. You can also, by the way, change direction of balance to how you want in all tables, and it's gonna remember it through playthroughs. It doesn't like reset. Times, jockeys, stables, managers, head trainers, wealth. Then we also have a journal, but this will be kind of like a wiki of the game, but this will be updated, or we're still working on it. And this works where you can kind of like tag stuff. So let's go just to PyOMy's profile, and then you can see like this notes here. And this is basically on all pages. You can see this notes. It doesn't really matter like for the home have that much sense, but like for the PyOMy, you can press note, and then here you can write. So this is my note, and yeah, then when you press this, it's gonna save it. Now, when you open it, you can again see it, and then you can kind of see like a version history. So you can continue, and this is my second, and save it, and now it's gonna make version 2. So now you can see like different versions of it's also like always gonna store it. And if you go now to notes, oh no, it's not working now, but yeah, I think the reason why it's not working is we have like a cache feature that makes it really fast where you can like go back and forward, but it doesn't load these apparently. So we have to work on those. Let me just see one day if that could maybe work. No, it didn't. Anyways, you would kind of see then. So then you would see under horses PyOMy. You could filter them. You could whatever. That's maybe also a thing I can show. Like if I go to PyOMy, you can make this kind of like tags. We haven't done any, but like say for breeding, and now we would have a breeding tag. So maybe it's something like you wanna then filter for the breeding where they would be like interesting horses to breed. You could do that, but yeah, sorry, it's buggy now, but not working. Yeah, that's notes. And then SQL, this is like if you actually wanna test doing SQL, like as I said, it's not needed, but you can actually see like our database for the game and how it works. This kind of has some, like it's pretty buggy, but you can also like pretty quickly like create by just clicking. You could like quickly like make what is called like queries, and you can even, if you have so let's say stables, you can even make like joins pretty quickly, and like it's automatically doing them, and then you can execute them and kind of see how it works. But yeah, I mean, this is a full SQL editor, so you can quickly like change how it views. But we mainly use this to like test stuff quickly in the game, so it might not even be in the final game. And if you know how to use SQL, you can even cheat like pretty easily, change your cache amount and stuff like this. Let me show you quickly how to actually then go to like this one. And by the way, you can select the jockey. If you always wanted to select, you can also, now when we have some people actually working, we can actually put some people here. And if we put a jockey like preferred in the horse profile, then we can, like next time we're gonna go and register the horse for the race, we can then we can see like it's automatically picking also the jockey, so we don't always have to select it. So it's kind of like a quality of life feature. And yeah, then you can just register for races. I would almost like the graded races, and you can unregister by unregistering, but the graded races are the most kind of like important. Expected condition, like best your horse is gonna be in a race is when it has 100% condition. Like it's gonna get a heavy penalty if it's not at 100 condition, but go then just a race that we can show actual racing in the game. Also, there's when a race day happens, there's usually like many different races, so you can kind of see like, okay, this is now a race where your horse is not, and this is apparently a bit buggy now, but yeah, your horse is not here, because if it would be here, you would see two things, one thing at least, where it would be take reins. Reins means then you're actually controlling the horse in the race. View race means that you're not actually controlling the horse, you're just viewing it, but I can show both. So, and when you're in this view, you can also show the betting, and this works then in the same way, where you can select the horses, and it's the exact same thing that we view that in the betting panel. Just because we're not in this race, let's just view the race, and then you see like the actual visuals. You can also see like preview of the horse. You can go to the next horse or then skip the intros altogether. You can zoom with the zoom wheel, and yeah, now we're just viewing the horse. When you go over this, you can see all the horses. You can press these to follow like a different horse. You can see if you have any bets. You can see the distance to the leader, basically each horse has. You can also press here to go through different horses. You can choose like how quickly the sim is working, or even pause it completely. Or then you can skip, and let's do that now because we were not in the race. So here you can then see the result, and we're still working on some small bugs. Okay, and after the race you always get this view, and this basically tells you like who won what, but you're also gonna see like then when we have our own races the results. So let me see, and okay, so now we can see this is, I don't know what's happening with this, it's some kind of bug. So I'm back, and there was some kind of bug, and I fixed it. So, and then we go to next race, and now you should see, like if I go skip to my race, yeah, you should see take reins. And if you press this, it's just gonna go to the race, and we can skip this. Now in the start, you basically move with DNA. If you press D too quickly, it's gonna move the target speed, so then you get like a worse start in the beginning. Here you can see the stamina, so now we're running quicker than there's basically stamina for the horse. So if it hits this limit, that's gonna open up more and more. Then your horse, it's gonna basically stop, like you're going over the limit, like you can see here, and it's gonna heavily like penalize you. The goal is basically to keep this, as you can see, as close to this as possible, and then it kind of depends on your stamina, how much like target speed you can use for the stamina. Here you see the distance left, and here is the actual target speed, and you can also see like now I'm not pressing anything. The one thing is also the more temperament a horse is, the harder it's gonna fight you. So like a really calm horse, it's not really gonna fight you that much, but a really temperament horse, it's not gonna keep like the speed at where you want it, it's gonna kind of like fight it. But the horse is also kind of gonna fight you, and this kind of depends on then the temperament of the horse. The more temperament the horse is, the more it's gonna fight you. And the closer that you get, then you can start pushing it more, but we need to pull back a bit. Yeah, we went a bit too close, so now it's like we went kind of over the stamina limit. Here you can see like the again the results where you are, and let's try to speed up. You can also speed it up, but obviously like it's gonna get a bit harder so that you don't get over the limit, but we can see now. And again, you can zoom in, zoom out, go over the horses. Oh, and now we went overboard, over the stamina again. So we kind of failed this race. I think we would have won otherwise, but it's hard to talk and play at the same time. But let's see. So now we get to the race end, and then you get the results. We were almost last, so but we got some money, so that's good. And then you can see the post comment race. But yeah, this is basically the race part. I think this is I guess like a general overview of the game and where we are. We still have like a lot of work overall. I hope this helps, and if there's something I can go through maybe in more detail, try to structure it, you can just comment below or comment Discord. Would recommend everyone, if you're like playtesting this, join the Discord. We're the most active there and can like you get answers in the same day or in a couple of hours at least. So I think that's the best one, and I would recommend it for everyone to join there. And obviously, like if the game is new for you, where basically what we're gonna try to do is become the most detailed horse racing manager game in the world. It's a big bar. I don't really think there's a game like this in this space. And what we have seen is that a lot of people are wishing for a game like this, but I think we still have to make it a bit simpler and more straightforward. Like it's a bit convoluted in a way, and some things are maybe more complex than what they actually need to be. So yeah, but this is the first game that any of us is making, especially like this kind of larger scale. So we're also learning on the same time as we're making the game. But yeah, I hope you have a nice day and test the game out. It's free to play test. Thanks for watching.